I'm joined by Grimmy Ranart himself. What a sick guy to have as well. What a guest as well. Not officially part of the casting team, but he's come out and joined me today. How you doing, man?
I kind of expected that I would somehow end up on the cast this weekend. I just didn't think it'd be the second game of the weekend. But yeah, no, doing really good. We got we've already had some really interesting games. I think if I'm not mistaken, you were streaming, or it was on stream. It was the K10 losing to kind of like the old boys. Murky's come in. Dexy's back in the loop as always with Stop It. And they lost 16-14, and K10, a team that came into this, a lot of people would have expected to maybe turn some heads. They got Wolfie standing in, who's everyone knows is sick on LAN. First game, right out the bat, they've lost, and that for me was really just like, we're LAN, we're here, we've already got an upset.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a best-of-1 upset, so it doesn't make the end of the world there for that K10 side. But look, at the end of the day, that's going to be a fun result for them to battle back from, and against a team like the JCs of Rush Red. You know, a lot of veterans in that sort of roster. I've known a lot of them from the Impulse and the CEX days, and those guys, of course, it's definitely legit individuals of their own right. Now it's time to move on to our second game of the day. We're taking a look at 25 average versus Legates. Legates certainly a name well known around the scene itself, so we're looking forward to how this best-of-1 goes. Both squads, I think, won their opening games as well. I definitely know Legates certainly did. 21 average also were able to do so. Slightly more one-sided there for the Legate side. They're actually, sorry, for the 25 average side, I should say, because they're a little bit further up in terms of the tiebreakers right now.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting one with 25 average because you've got a lot of players like Menace, who's absolutely insane. Individually, he probably could be the best player on this server. It just does the experience tie in with that. You've got G there, Orpa, who plays on like 100 FPS. I don't know if you've seen, but his PC is literally wrapped in cardboard. So it's a real LAN. And then obviously you've got Sash leading the helm, and everyone knows him as someone that can upset. And Legates definitely should be quite wary that this isn't going to be an easy game.
Well, Matt Vito is ready to take a look at exactly what map we're going to be playing in our best-of-1 matchup, and these will be vitally important. Any particular ideas of how this could go?
Well, from when I played against Sash on LAN, we banged them out on Vertigo, so that's already pretty good that that's come out. They've banned that. Nuke, not normally their strong point, and I didn't think they'd first ban it, because so far with this roster, they have actually played Nuke in past LANs. Didn't think that'd be the insta-ban straight off it. However, Overpass, I honestly, I wouldn't really know too much about 25 average, because like, it's a mixed team. Who knows?
I mean, it's certainly not typically a map that you'd see from a lot of mixed teams.
Yeah,
true, usually you want to go to some of those like more standard pug maps, like a Mirage, for instance. Yeah. But, so going to those Overpass is certainly going to be an interesting little affair, and I'm excited to see how well it will go. 2 Overpasses today as well, by the way, because the last match was also played on Overpass. So I wonder if there'll be a similar sort of CT-sided comeback.
I was going to say, is Overpass the upset map? We've already seen one upset on Overpass. Could it be a second? I think going into this one, it's clear that I think you can agree with me. Legates are the favorites.
Yeah.
They're an actual main team. They've got a lot of experience. They've got a lot of firepower and like LAN experience, not just online experience. And the fact that they're like actually a team. So for average, obviously like Freshness, Mickey Fox, Sash, they've played LAN together. G and Menace have played Inters together. They are a team that are known to each other, just in different dynamics.
Yeah, and I think you're definitely right in that sort of assessment. The idea that Legates would probably be within that sort of like favourite position. So I can definitely take a look at that and say that with relatively decent confidence. But the truth of the matter is that these best-of-1s, they can be absolutely brutal at these kind of LANs. And we've seen many a great team just crumble in this group stage and just miss the marker by maybe one result. So even though it might say, oh yeah, we might be able to say, oh yeah, we've got loads of potential in terms of return after this sort of matchup for either side to make it back in from later games, at the end of the day, still a very important result to open up there, to of course follow only from the open ups that they had. Yeah,
I think completely, because like if you're looking at the seeding, for instance, you've got the 3rd and 4th seed, 25 average of the 4th seed, Legates the 3rd seed. Whoever wins this will probably be the 3rd seed. Most likely, because I think Shush GG and EMAS is looking like really 2 strong opponents. I think they can battle for each other for 1st and 2nd. That's very high. I think that's a very contentious 1st, 2nd. But I feel like that's going to be 1st, 2nd. There's not going to be an upset between 25 average or Legates to the top 2. And then it's going to be very interesting to see who will take the upper lower bracket seed coming out of this group. And I put my money on Legates. However, I feel like 25 average, we do not want to count them out, and especially with Sash. If Sash is on it, Sash is on it. Yeah,
look, there's a lot of players to watch out for, I think, in this sort of a matchup. And even though it might be mixed teams frequently do the best. I remember the Ferrari Peakers from back in the day. Yeah, you know, that old mixed team of like the incredible individuals that didn't even lose a map throughout their LAN run. So I'm looking forward to see how this one will roll out for the 25 average side. But you are right, Legates definitely the favourites by de facto rather than anything definitive in this sort of sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well this will go. You're right about the whole seeding, about this being like a match between 3rd and 4th positions. So I'm just excited excited to jump into it, mate.
Yeah, and, well, especially for Legates, they're going to be hearing Sash across the LAN hall. He is going to be screaming his head off. I think we're going to hear him. I can't wait to get into this. I think we are starting the game very soon, if I'm not mistaken. There was a small technical issue with the laboratory, and we should be
a technical issue of some regard.
Of some regards.
Of some description.
Yeah. It's actually my first cast in quite a while.
Is it? Oh yeah, because you were doing
I think it's been like good 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah, because you were doing what was it, CCT as an analyst.
Yeah,
so you didn't actually do casting there.
No.
You didn't swap out roles or anything, no?
No, it was some of the casters hopped on the analyst desk, so like Brandon was filling in, Tom came in at one stage.
But you never went from desk to casting?
No, it was very much the casters doing it, and then the analyst desk, we were kind of changing in and out at periods. But no, this is very pleasure to finally go. This is first time we've cast together.
I believe it is, actually.
I think it is, yeah. Like, it's really bizarre. There's, like, some people, I was talking to Scrim about it recently, I was like, I've never cast with you, yet I, like, speak to you every day, and we, like, work as casters.
I know.
Yet I've never casted with you.
Well, this will be a first for the ages, and one that we always love here at Epic Land, so I'm looking forward to it, you're looking forward to it. I hope that 25 Average are also looking forward to it. I think we're waiting on one of their players to jump straight into this game. Mickey Foz, so, yeah, when he jumps in, we can be ready to just rock and roll and let this whole thing happen. I think we have the knife round to play out before we get into the actual pistol. At least I'm assuming that's the case. And yes, that'll be the one. So, yeah. Obviously, with the current meta of Counter-Strike, CT sides are obviously one of the key things to focus on. And Overpass has always been one of these maps that have been pretty heavily CT-sided. So, I look at this one and I think that the knife round is fairly valuable in a best of one like this, right? I
think 100%. If we were on like a Mirage or an Inferno, I don't think it would be that important. However, we saw last game in particular how important it is to get that early lead, get that early start. Comebacks is obviously very prone, and on LAN, I think on LAN momentum shifts faster. You have more emotions, more just shifts of dynamics. However, I would agree, especially between these two teams, whoever gets the early lead is definitely going to be in the upper hand, and it looks like it will be Legates. Overpass is the most CT-sided map in the map pool, and they're going to try to utilize this as best as possible.
Yeah, so opening knife taken for them. You imagine that must be a sweet CT switch. Again, it just seems like common sense for them to go ahead for it, so we'll just wait for that official call to come through, and we'll get this match underway with the pistol round. So, again, Legates in the favourite position in the driver's seat at this moment in time. Let's see whether it will stay that way here.
Yeah, a team that went 13-60, well, the core of these guys placed top 16 pretty much last LAN. Very disappointing result, I think, for some of these individuals, especially considering they are like a main team. They've got Raymond, who is very impressive when it comes to some of his statistics. I've even seen him on this map, for instance, get a ace with a 5-7 no armor from Monster in the, I think it was the ESL Premiership qualifiers last spring. It was a long time ago, and it was a very impressive...
It is the kind of position where you could get an easy ace from that position, though, so I kind of get it. I understand it.
He's a 5-7 connoisseur.
We'll see whether that pistol will come into effect in this particular matchup. We have seen the side switch. So the Gates are currently on the CT half of things. We'll see if we can get the HUD switched over so we can see them over on that side of the map. Yes, 25 Average taking on Legates in our second game of the day. Scoreline predictions, Freddie?
I think, honestly, so Legates are the favourites. However, 25 Average, I'm saying 16-13 to them.
All right, then. Let's see it. Let's get it underway. Pistol round going live with the Average side quickly making their way into the B site. Stacking towards Connector for the Legates camp. Might meet them and cut them off here. The bomb's on its way in very quickly. Crazy's being very slow about taking his peek. The flashbangs are being sent, so to be a full retake setup for them.
I was going to say, Crazy potentially could have got a timing there if he peeked out of Connector, but no. Legates, this is really nice for them. They're planting in that smoke and all going towards CT. 25 Average, they've got a kit and double flash on Finu. This is going to have to be a very impressive retake.
Quick taps those USPs. Crazy trying to work in land. It will be managed with a decent kill, or two, or three, in fact, held down by the pistols. 4 versus 2 situation. Currently 25 Average have the advantage. Legates trying to work their way into the retake. They have that kit still on Big and tapped once, trying to force positions out. Big will land that decent shot and a second one as well, but now in a 1 versus 2. Bombs in the open. Tapped again. Player from Heaven. Player from Graffiti. Tapped the 3rd time, and no one's looking to give up the advantage. Finally, Mickey Foz comes in with the kill, and it will be 25 Average with the pistol.
That's a great start for them. I think we had the teams actually wrong on the top there, so if anyone's confused, it is Legates who were on the CT side, and it was 25 average on the T side. Really nice pistol. Pistol round, I think we can agree, Jay, is a bit of a gimmicky one. Sometimes you just stack connector and they don't go connector and they go B, so you can't really do too much about that. A really nice attempt at the retake, but really good post plant, and especially Menace there on barrels, really impressive. I was hyping him up. I've seen him play. I've played with him in Inters, and he's a very talented player.
Show that tongue off right there in that particular exchange. 25 average walking away with a pistol. Pistols are out on the force by from the Legates side. P250 in for Kai, getting one piece of that freshness. Did take Bigham with him, and the trains are pretty good from these SMGs and pistols. 3 versus 2, eventually reduced to 1. As Menace strikes with his AK and leaves it all onto Finu. Scout alone in the 1-on-3 will do his best here from Heaven, but ultimately should not be able to do much. Actually does land on 1, so that's not bad, but I don't imagine much more will come through.
Yeah, there was definitely a scenario there where it could have got contentious and Legates may have potentially run away from it, especially with the smoke short, and it was first K just getting that little cheeky P250 kill. But Finu here, most likely just trying to get damage. There's a chance he could save a rifle of some magnitude, but these post plants are quite nice. You've got a crossfire set up. If whoever takes contact first, there's going to be an instant swing from the other. And yeah, there you go. Not even needed. Mickey Foz down in Rat Dark there. Secures 25 average their second round, and Legates will be forced on an eco. The T side getting that early lead is actually not. That's huge actually.
Did you call it Rat Dark?
Rat Dark.
Really?
Yeah, like rat or dark.
Never heard that call before, actually.
Which
That's
one?
Really, yeah, the cubby corner in water.
I call it rat.
You call it rat?
Yeah.
Huh. All right, I remember that for the future, actually.
What's the normal?
Just cubby water.
Cubby water. So that's a bit of a mouthful.
I guess. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just like just very, very surprised to hear that.
I think I actually think I saw Smooya get a clip from there once. And that's where the name came from.
Oh, because Rat King.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well.
And like it kind of made sense as well, the situation of it. But going back to the game, 3-0 in quite a dominant fashion on the T side is like genuinely a very dangerous position to be in very early on. Like it's really early doors. However, on the T side, racking up the momentum, and especially for someone like Sasha was saying, momentum, screaming, they're getting going.
And there was no force fight from Legates there in that previous round either. When you've got that damage on 25 average, a lot of squads would usually tend to try and force the issue back and try and counter reset to get the early advantage themselves. And that's to counteract what you were talking about right there, the lead of the 3-0 for 25 average, currently with all the weapons in play. The AWP going to get boosted up for the tower boost. Will it find anything? I don't think it will. Ooh, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous, but no shot connected. That's probably information. They did land on 1 tag there for Bigham.
Yeah, Bigham was actually jumping out of heaven, so there's a chance. However, look at the reaction from Legates. They instantly identify that it's a 4-man boost, and K just runs straight through Monster. Yet flash through, and 25 average are currently just huddled all towards spawn. 30 seconds have gone. They have 0 map control, and Legates have overrun them.
They've got an angle to work with back towards mid. They're being paranoid about it. Had Legates pushed forward, then they would have completely bracketed 25 average here. Maybe a missed opportunity, but maybe it could still work out for them. 2 players in connector. You still got Kai pushing forward. But Sash leading the charge up. Raymond checking out after the DK sprays do come through, and Sash will be able to drop.
A missed shot though by Finu. That could be 25 average saving grace. However, the repeat is not expected. Raymond only gets 1 more, but Crazy is there to replace him. A lumbered spray, and Freshness will nail his head. Back to a 3 versus 3. 25 average, the bomb down in no man's land, and it will not be collected. Finu does not miss this, and Menace, I was hyping him up, and with 30 seconds left, picked up the bomb, going towards short, where he can utilize and isolate a 1 versus 1, but no, K catches him on the timing, and Legates will pick up their first.
Too complacent for me there in the mid control for 25 average. They looked away from connector like 3 separate times without covering
I don't know how you do that,
no
to be honest.
utility, no player watching it. You have to always keep your eyes on that, because Legates were constantly like peeking out. They'd shown that they had presence in that part of the map. So if you're 25 average, you have to cover that off, else you will get flanked like that. And they paid the price for it ultimately. Picked apart piece by piece, and the Legates will have their first round. Guns return, and the damage coming into that previous force by the second round of the game has actually come back to compound against the 25 average side. Only 1 player with 1 pistol, 2 AKs, an AWP, and a Galil other than that. And that might come back to bite them later. They have got a little bit of a spread out default in from connector back towards T-Con. 1 player up towards the top along. Raymond's going to find that 1 kill, traded back by the AWP to a 4-on-4.
That's actually a really big kill for G, because Raymond, their star player, their most potent rifler, is now out of the server. G is an aggressive AWPer. He can be very dynamic and flicky with it, so I want to see that come out. However, boost on boost, Menace just does not anticipate that. Why would you? However, the trades are still coming back and forth. It's a 3 versus 3, and the AWP of G and Finu is both alive, so I think that's going to become a real big part of this round.
Keeping it as even as they possibly can praise the training game on both sides here. 45 seconds to the clock, and average are just slowly pressing the issue, slowly but surely trying to make it out of monster. Look at the jump face from Praise. He's not seen them. One player has crossed, second player has been seen. Instant utility reactions there with the smoke and the flash being sent over. The 25 average continue their campaign, just the slow walks up. Freshness, the only man to commit so far.
Slowing it down is actually caused Finu to go back towards the A bomb site, and now they're going to explode. Bigum, they do not anticipate the second. He's still alive. Smoke is fading, and they're going to neutralize him as that fades. Finu, another missed shot. Goes for a second, cannot claim it. The bomb's going to get planted. G holding for the peak. Misses his shot as well. Everyone missing. Finu, ooh, just gets railed by Sash there.
Such a good effort from Finu right up until the end. It was a good shoulder bait to force that AWPer to miss the mark there over on the Heaven control. And it almost worked out, had that flick connected to the default box. At that point, it's a 1v1, and then you have to force the push forward from the Legates side. So almost, but not to be in this case. And now the ecos can return from Legates. Hero M4 setup for this round.
Very dangerous peek there by Sash. You see how he just crouch peeks without any help. G was tucked away. High risk, high reward. It works in that scenario, but there's 20 others that it doesn't. And right now, as you were saying, that one rifle they upgraded into does get a kill, and then they open the connector door which is being spammed, and Sash just collects 2 of them. That's the rifle dropped, and it also allows 25 average to hold on to the second rifle that's been dropped in connector. Legates, 3 players stacked over towards the B bomb site with their pistols, 1 armor on the AWPer of Finu, but he was just going to be saving for that AWP in the next round.
Just a minute on the clock, and at this point, the only thing you can really hope for of the CT side is to get back into connector, grab those 2 rifles, and just concede the round itself. Look towards the gun buy with a bonus AK weapon, so you have a little bit of firepower in that respect. They're a little bit careful about 25 average sticking around there, though, so Finu will make his way back to the bomb site. Although I imagine once they take the site itself, it's probably best to go for the risk at this stage. A retake is most certainly off the table for Legates. They look like they're going to try their hand at it here. Bomb going down. We've got Crazy rotating in the back lines. P250s prodding forward. And average have left the bomb site here. There's no kit, so they haven't got much to worry about in terms of time potential for the Legate side, but they are on the bomb site now.
I mean, there's no way this should really, in any scenario, go against them. I like how they're taking the distance fights. They're using their rifles, they're using their AWPs to their truest potentials and forcing Legates to try and sneak in and then take those long-range fights. See Crazy here with a CZ, like, what can he really do in this scenario? He's actually stayed alive for way longer than he should have, but that's Sash getting a 3K in the round, 25 average, 5 rounds on the T side of overpass, which I would argue is already enough.
Certainly good for the early game. As you mentioned, might be contributing to the overall game here for the average side. Legates about to face the tower boost once again, but the miss has come through. Sash going to try and reset it up anyway. Freshness giving Griv the opportunity.
They're boosted. They're boosted.
They're going to get there. It's a little bit late though, and they still can't keep it together. So, I mean, second time was not the charm, and they're still going for it here, but at this point the window's been missed. The Gates have already found their default positions. No one's going to jump out of heaven. They're not going to go for the jump face.
K's pushing.
Oh
they might
catch.
What's happening?
Oh, this has backfired big time for average. Now Legates have the information and damage being done, and look at the spread on the CT side. Look at the minimap.
Yeah, so the spread on the CT side is great. However, Menace has caught off Crazy pushing out Monster, so it's actually opened up a gap. K swings on a timing, only good for the first. He had to double there. Biggin could close off some rotations from short, but we'll just let them walk by. But now look at Raymond. We were talking about the spread coming through. Doesn't clear his corners, and that's the IGL of Sash claiming the third frag. Still, though, a 3 versus 2. Look at Biggin. Scrap through the smoke, drops the bomb, can fade away. Mickey Foz doesn't quite catch him. All the information of all the players to everyone is known. And 25 average, they are grouped up. That is their one advantage. Legates, they are playing 2 1v1s.
Shots ringing out of the AWP. Bomb going to try to go down in the open as Mickey forces Finny to make a mistake, and it will be all on Big and all the way back in the bathrooms, trying to rotate for the save call because Legates have bottled this round again. That was the most perfect advantage in the world. Pushing in against the tower boost, and they tried to set it up, had that perfect chance to get a kill, if not damage, but then they let a pick go back the way of the average side, and then Legates lose the bomb site itself. The trade game was again fantastic, but the 25 average side come out on top this time. There's at least a knife kill, so there'll be a little bit of a confidence and morale boost in that one. Mickey Fox going down, but Sash stays alive and keeps the round together for 25 average. 6-1 on the T-board.
Was that time?
I don't know if there would have been time with the defuse. It might have been a little bit close. If he ran with his knife, did he have a kit?
I actually don't know. So I wasn't even checking for a kit. I didn't even amuse the idea that it could happen. But now looking back at it, there's a kit that actually could have been a round one. However, we see the AWP power still for G. A Mac 10 for Sash AFP. He clutched up the round, has given his AK over to one of his teammates, and has elected to go on that Mac 10. And I can maybe see why. Getting very aggressive up short. Only good for that first. Will get traded by Raymond X, who was hyping up on his pistols on overpass. But now this should be a clean round, I think, because look at how bad the money is. The T side, they haven't been keeping many players alive. I really want to see them, at a minimum, at a maximum, only lose one more.
That's one of the things that you can give to Legates in the sense that they have got 25 average on the ropes, right? One good round, whether it be a rifle steal or a pistol in this kind of a half-buy eco situation, turn that Mat 10 into a decent weapon, and suddenly you could actually counter-reset the T-side without a bomb plant here. And what? K is going to get 2 Deagle shots to try and prove the point. It's a 2 versus 2, but he doesn't see the last man at the edge of the smoke. So Rayman now has it all to do. His own Deagle in his own hand. Mac 10 on his back. Bomb also dropped on the bomb site. So they have to commit to A here, and they're walking up slowly. They're being tentative about this here. 25 average. Rayman just sat behind the truck position. They're not going to move to him.
Yeah, because they're being so tentative. The issue is the bomb is down in no man's land. And Raymond thinks they have it. He never spotted out the fact that they didn't have the bomb. Smoke on the A bomb site. He thinks it's a fake. Still, the bomb is yet to be collected. Look how slow and actually non-methodical. It's actually bad for them. They're taking way too long. And Raymond is now able to rotate up. The smoke is not clearing him. What? You could see his whole body and he missed every single shot. Raymond, unfortunately, cannot step up to the plateau there.
That's so frustrating to see because you said you could see him in the midst of the smoke, so you're just taking a little bit extra of a split second to aim a crosshair on the head and just pull the trigger. That's round over. That would have been a denial right there. Maybe you have to survive against the second player, but that's such a big moment missed out. And even then, the hesitation to move back to the A site when you hear that smoke coming down. At that point, you know they have to commit here. Legates doing well for another eco, but now they have to capitalize. Fast rush in from 25 average, they make their way up towards short. The AWP only good for 1. Freshness with a responsive. K comes back with 1 menace in with responsive to a 3-on-3. 3v2 as Big and gets his trade back on the man. And so now it's on Sash to move closer, try and lead the charge of the last 2 T-side players in the midst of the smoke also. Unbeknownst to Crazy, who does get the frag back and draw on the AWP to the 1v3 clutch. It looks like finally Legates might have their second. Indeed they do. The breaking point round found by the CT side.
Look quite clean as well. They saved AWP. They have 3 players alive. The one issue I do want to raise there is that Finu, he's been getting some nice opening picks. However, I feel like he's missing a lot of shots. Like, the second shot, it's not an easy shot. However, it definitely should be hit by someone who's got multiple seasons of main under their belt. Regardless, the round is still won, and 25 average, they're going to be going fast towards this B bomb site. They've got the Tech 9s. It's going to be a cringer.
Half buy into this one, getting those upgrade pistols, trying to get the bomb down at worst case scenario. Big Gun denies it though with a nice 2K menace in with a responsive Crazy with his AK to wrap around. Once again, they're going to try to set the bomb plant. I think it's going to come through. Indeed it will. So there is at least that minimum amount of damage being done to the Legates side. The idea that more money is going to go the way of 25 average plus the second stage of loss bonus, the money already being saved, should lead to a decent buy up here.
Good enough.
Yeah, 7-3 on the board. Legates starting to claw some rounds back. But 25 average, they've got the economical advantage here.
Regardless of everything, 7-3. Even if Legates theoretically do get 8, I don't think that's enough. 7 rounds is really, really good on the T-side of overpass, especially, say, if you win pistol round without getting the bomb down. That's going to be, without the other team getting the bomb down, this could be really good for 25 average. If they win 1 more, I definitely see them in the driving seat. Finu, yet again, another missed shot. That one, give it to him. It's a little bit difficult, but he is going for his opening picks. We saw 2 rounds ago peeking towards short. This round peeking towards connector. He's being very dynamic and getting in the face of the T side.
Just dirty damage being done here. K is again going to try and push the issue here. Monster been so aggressive in this angle, and it has worked out well enough for Legates in the past here, so I don't blame him for it. The problem is that right now, T side completely evaded him, so there won't be any opening picks. Instead, the majority of their forces pushed into the mid control. Sash again, going to try and lead the charge with the Galil in hand. Flashes turned away from Smokes will get in the way of the CT forces, and Finu is ready for that pop-up. One shot connects, second one, as you mentioned before, not going to quite land. Counterlade sent towards the direction, 5 HP, but Bingen has it back alongside Raymond's kill. Crazy comes up with a pick of his own right, and suddenly it's a 1-on-5-25 average, and Legates' confidence has finally found them a team ace in round 12.
Very good. You see, because of K's push, there was more of a lean over towards that A bomb site. 25 average didn't and never cleared out long or long toilets, so Raymond was able to roam around that area, and then of course just the bomb site hole. And as that was all happening, you had K come through connector and join up with his teammates. It was an encapsulation of the A bomb site, and it worked out very nicely, very clean, and it could have gone sour. You know, the nade almost landing on Finu, for instance. If maybe one shot had landed onto Biggin, who was the other A bomb site player, it could have been a different story, but that will not be the case. Legates, they've reset the economy of 25 average, and will be looking to get a fifth quite cleanly here.
Small pause before we continue, though, and I can imagine it being tactical in nature for the 25 average side.
Wonder what Sash is saying, rallying up the troops.
Well, he's already. I mean, the first thing he'll be saying is, "Look, we've already proven we can wreck these guys. We did it for what was it, seven out of 8 rounds?
Yeah, it was 7-1 pretty cleanly as well.
Yeah, they've shown on this T side they can still be decent. It's just that those small little issues allowing them to do as much damage as the Gates have done so far. Allow this comeback to return, so they're proving they're the better team by the skill alone. In this round, though, skill does not matter against the better guns. There was one pick back from Menace, the only M4, the only rifle in play for 25 average, and now Finu is hitting all his shots. 4K for him. We need to see those big sequences more often from him, especially in those rifle rounds where 25 average will punish those missed shots. So for Legates, again, proving themselves to grind up piece by piece. 2 more rounds to equalize. The gun buyers in for average. I think that's the first round he's hit back-to-back shots and just done it with a 4K. Really clean. Only issue is that, you know, it was against an eco, so now I want to see this against the rifles. Can he do this consistently? It's a good start. And 25 average, going to be a little bit more cautious now, especially if the orb is in play. Sash getting fast, knife out, gets caught off guard. Raymond does not get traded. Menace falls to his hand. He might even get a third. Yes, he does, finally. Gets stopped, but it does not matter. Legates churn 25 average out. And 6-7, they've closed the gap. Yeah, these fast pushes have not worked all that well for the T side. A couple of times that they've tried for it. They've got a bomb plant in one particular half by round. But when the rifle's been brought out, they charge forward. They miss some of those corners. You saw it, of course, from Sash. Now he enabled that 2K, 3K in the end from Raymond. And for the 14th round, they'll have a half buy to get the full buy back in for the last of the half. But 25 average from the 7-1 advantage they take. Legates now holding control because of it. K has been seen. Sprays back through the smoke spectrum. The man behind the sandbags eventually does land it as Sash is first to fall again.
Surprisingly amount of damage actually done to K as well. He's only on 25 HP, so he needs to be cautious. Fresh as snow. Mollied out of his position, and he will be able to neutralize the aforementioned low HP player of K. 4 versus 4, however, Legates still do have that advantage in terms of weaponry, utility, positioning. Raymond has been prowling the long toilets time and time again. Will fall back right into them. Hello? Mickey, headphones? G doesn't trade either, and that's 25 average. Wait, I didn't even notice that. I was so bamboozled by the positioning there. Menace with a very nice deagle shot. Of course that's the kill they get.
How have you not heard it? Oh no, guys. Oh, Legates.
A fumble.
A blunder. Yeah, I've got nothing to say to that. I don't think there's anything
really
you can
unfortunate.
say. 25 average. At least Menace has got an M4 to play with, and the bomb is uncontested by the CT side. In fact, the B side's not even contested by the CT side, so there's a bomb plant out of this at least.
Oh, yeah.
The question is, how much further will it go?
Is the bomb plant needed? That's also my question, because what's their loss bonus? I think it's like around 2,900 to even max loss bonus right now. So
well, at this point, you're going to need to get the bomb down for the sake of the timer alone, so you'd have to try and use that to fight an advantage against the Legates side. It's winnable. It's tough, but you're right, it is winnable.
It depends how bold he gets with this. So he's going to plant for Heaven. If he goes towards Heaven, if he gets a timing, this is what I mean. How bold is he going to be? He has a timing to work with, and Menace is going to shift his way over towards Heaven. 1 versus 3. The first two will be grouped
go.
up towards CT. He hears them both, swings out, connects the first, and cannot do it on the second. Just gets a little bit bamboozled by Finu jumping through the air, and that could have been it. He had the timing, he had everything, but Finu does really well just to give himself up. Human flashbang, and Crazy connects the shots.
I could have seen a different world in which that spray down
100%.
worked.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
You could just see it. You could just see it. Oh, man.
I'd say the likelihood of him winning that was actually higher than him losing it.
I don't think I'd go that far, but certainly once you found that spray down position, it's like that's the world and that's the angle in which you see this round turning his direction.
And of all players, Menace.
Yeah, I know, right? Like
Sash, I remember because they were playing an EPIC38 game and it did it last night, and Sash literally at one stage went, Menace, can you just go kill him so we can win? Ooh, wait, this is it's the repeat.
Yep.
K's pushing through. It's all happening again. This time, he will not be able to get anything, but the information is still there. Crazy is going to join him, but Menace neutralizes that target. Look how many players there are towards it. They're crunching towards Monster, and the numbers are just overwhelmed. 25 average.
Sash alone in the 1 versus 3 gets that one at least. K down, AK to reload. Needs a 4K clutch. Flashing forward against 1CT, gone right past him into the clutches of Raymond, who domes him in the back of the head. And that will make it 8-7 at the half for Legates as they bring back the comeback from a 7-1 deficit, Freddie. That has got to be impressive for the CT side. And certainly, I want to say, a bit disappointing for 25 average. They could have had the half. They could have had so much more, but they just allowed that economical situation to compound and eventually that reset to come through. And from there, they couldn't really do much against Legates.
It's a really difficult one, isn't it? Because you look on the face value of it, on paper, 8-7 or 7-8 on the T side, really good. But then you bring up the point you made, it's like, oh, yeah, but we could have done so much better. We were 7-1 up. So it depends how 25 average are able to mentally reset. And right now, they're going to have to do it big time because Legates, they're going towards B bomb sites.
Quick smokes up, fresh for the USP, and a pistol round lands onto K very quickly. Nicely done. Second player of Crazy inbound. Sash waiting and baiting. He's going to let his teammates fall, perhaps to try and down a bomb plant. Has it been detected here? No. They've walked right past him. They're looking towards his teammates. That bomb's looking to commit. Menace moves forward, and now Sash can strike. Headshot on the first. Can't quite get the second. Needs that backup of his teammates to get here right now. Hiding behind the toxic barrels. Menace is now looking towards the site. Sees one player out towards Pillar. One on shore. Raymond's down. Mickey falls with the final trade of the round, and it will be 25 average with the pistol on the CT side.
It's the fact that Sash gets the kill and then just tucks. He has such confidence in his teammate of freshness to cover him. He knows he is not going to die, and he plays and trusts his teammate. That is so impressive. 25 average, winning both pistol rounds now, if I'm not mistaken. This is realms of closing it out. They deny the bomb plants. The money for Legates is not as good as it could be, and this could be another fast B. They're going towards short, sending the majority of their forces there. Raymond with the MAC-10, leading the charge. Will they anticipate him to be so close?
Pressing up real quick with that SMG. Check the side. No, he's going to get the kill. Line up for Freshmas instead. Doubles back for a 2-for-1 trade of the CT side. Biggin responds to a 2-for-2, but Freshness isn't done. He's got his 3K, and he's held Legates at the gates, denying entry to the B site.
That MP9 was left on a pedestal. Everything was up to him, and he gave it his all. K, what is that? K, no, you can't be missing when he's got his head turned. Oh, that is a blunder and a half. Finu revealed to 25 average with that flashbang. 75 HP, armor, tech 9, and now the MP9 will find its fourth. It had to sing, and it sings the sweet, dastardly song of death.
4K for Freshness, all on MP9 kills. His money is ridiculous right now. We'll pass that weapon back off, get another SMG because it's a harsh recon for Legates.
How does he get a 4? Sorry, how does Freshers get a 4K and none of his teammates get any kills on the B-bomb site? And then how does K miss a shot? Like, yeah, he would have been traded. Yeah, he would have died instantly. But it's the fact that they can then keep more players alive. And that's mental as well. You miss the easiest shot of your career.
It's sloppy, but at this point, I think that the nerves of this game are starting to get to both sides. Legates especially, like, think about how the early game went in the first half for 25 average, how they won that pistol, converted the rounds, 1-1 back. Legates couldn't quite hold on, and then from there it turned to 7-1. The early games certainly are beneficial to 25 average, as we've seen so far. And Praisley dealt with as the opening frag here. The one Deagle down, Deco round, K next to drop. 5-on-3 for 25 average, and it just gets worse and worse for Legates here.
This team thrived under pressure. We've seen them do it countless times against multiple opponents. The classic phrase, salary to lose, not quite applicable to Legates. However, it's the same mentality of a different standard. 25 average are much lower down on the, I guess, the circle of UKTS, the sphere of UKTS, and Legates right now, a team that has been trying to prove themselves in multiple occasions. This is not how you do it.
10-8. 25 average in control on this CT side. And I mean, you presented the second side of the whole 7-8 a half advantage for 25 average in the sense that, yeah, it was great on the T side line. Maybe that could just be enough to win out the map itself. The Gates, their guns set in, needed to win this round pretty desperately and then follow it up off the back of that. So much money built up by the CT forces. And now the M4s are looking to engage very early on in this. Crazy might get caught off guard with this. He is checking his corners, slowly but surely moving up at the signpost. Checking position, spray down, the first man's down.
Gets the timing. G was checking both angles simultaneously, and Crazy is able to one-up him there. Talking about aggression, freshness, also on the other extremity, was trying to apply something, but the problem is they've just given Legates 2 easy picks, and now the T-side are grouping up, going towards the B bomb site, but the MP9s are looking to strike. The flashbang's good. The spray is not fresh. Does so much damage, and now Menace all by himself just can't get away. Look at the HP. Bigger 9, Crazy 13, Finu 48. It could have got close, and Mickey Foz can try and do some damage, but he's just going to get his head rocked by K.
It's a shame it was K to peek him as well, because look at you mentioned, look at the HP bars for Legates. It would have been called into him that, yeah, most of those guys are completely lit.
Yeah.
All you got to do, yeah. All you got to do is just land those couple of good shots, taps, bursts, whatever. Take down Big and Finu, Crazy, and then rest on K in the 1 versus 1. That would have been the plan. Of course, it didn't work out that way, and it won't work out that way when K's going to face you directly. So 9 on the board, Legates starting off their half with the rifle win, 25 average. Still rocking the SMGs here. Money was not fully defined, but the AWP is out for them the same.
Legates not showing any presence towards the A bomb site. All grouped up towards B. A full set of utility ready to explode onto the 3-man defense. They're boosting. This could get dangerous. Menace needs to try and help his teammates. Freshness got a Molotov to protect him. Lovely, but Raymond flicks back around and snaps onto his head. Sash with the MP9, getting close up and personal, putting the advantage back in their favor. All the smokes are just not favoring the T-side today, and Finu last alone in a 1 versus 4. Rather impossible, but he does turn it into a 1 versus 3. Sash, low HP on the pillar, could also be tantalizing close to death.
There's a lot to do in this situation, though. The bomb in the open. Finu is watching the edge of the site. Taps and bursts through on the Heaven player. Okay. 2 to go. Seeing the next man. 1 player on site. Their SMG up close. AK swinging around the back line. Sees him burst through, and Mickey Foz will win that fight. Sash, not necessary. He did his work. And a wonderful utility responsive there from 25 average. First, the smoke down at Monster. Heard Legates continuing to push forward to that Monster position. So the incendiary comes back. They win that 1 fight. They burn 1 player after the fact. And from there, the defensive holds to a 1-on-4 situation. 25 average. They know what they're doing, and Legates are suffering for it. They have a buyback, however. Got to get involved because 2-round deficit is only looking to grow from here.
It was a really nice save from 25 average because they lost the opening pick, they lost their monster player, and then had the 2 players on boost, which can sometimes muddle together and kind of step on each other's toes. Whereas the consistent Molotov, they threw 2 down. There were 2 down that completely split up the attack 1 time and another. Really nicely done from them. And Legates, their money is in a very rough place. Finu did a lot of damage there at the end there. Those 2 kills is now forcing like Menace on MP9, for instance. However, this is a big swing round for both sides, and Menace is going to try and open up the fragging department. Needs to be careful. He's got a lot of players hounding him down. He will get the first, but does get traded out.
Meanwhile, Mickey Foz falling back to try and join the AWP crossfire. 4-on-4 situation. EWP has no idea that K's pushed up that far. That 1 gap in the fence been left open by the rifle player in the back. And now Mickey Foz with a lot of work to do. Sees that first individual. Mows down 1. Stacks on 1 of his own. Mickey Foz doing a ton of damage to Finu, making it 2-on-2. The bomb will get planted. The retake should be on that HE. Will it land the kill? No. Yes, it will.
Does.
Denies the bomb plant. There's 35 seconds though. Time for Prezi to recover it.
The Molotov has also just made it so Prezi can't beeline towards that bomb. 1 versus 2. He's got a Molotov and a flash. Freshness has now joined up with his teammates. 25 average are playing this well, that they're both coming together. A Molotov towards Dumpster will allow the bomb to get picked up. Smoked himself off, Freshness has. Spam through the wall, actually connects onto Crazy, just kind of bamboozles him a little bit.
Going to go for the plant. Tapping it again, trying to force the CTs out. He's trying to get them over patient, and it might just fall for it. 6 seconds, swing back, sees the player at back, trying to adjust back and forth. Oh no! Couldn't get it together. The adjustment too quick, too fast, and not quite coming through for the T side. 12-9 for 25 average. It was a good effort, and really he didn't have many choices. Had he planted the bomb, he would have been flanked by both players, and he wouldn't have been able to survive that situation. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, and ultimately it leaves the Gates in the worst position possible. Hero AK with half-bought pistols around it. We're looking at 13-9 most likely for 25 average. They're going with a big old group, and the AWP lands the collapse. Damage coming in from utility. They couldn't punish against the man. He's so blinded. Deagle of Rayman wraps over, gets a headshot, looks for his second man. They're overwhelming the numbers game, a 3-on-3, and Menace in the backside, an SMG versus them all.
He has to go nuclear here. He gets the first, drops the bomb, cannot connect fully onto the second. USP out. Oh, it's lumbered, it's messy, but he finally will conclude with a frag. Biggin, not normally renowned for his AWPing. Second in the round, a 1 versus 3, plunged into a 1 versus 2, misses his opportunity for that headshot. Bomb has not been collected. Smoke is going to force him away as well, and this should be a 13 for 25 average. But no, I don't like this. The player on top side loses his life. Freshness now in a 1 versus 1, just wondering, what has his team done?
He's got to go back for the bomb. He has to commit to the A site here. He knows it. So does Freshness, I believe. Checking around that smoke. 45 seconds. Is Biggin scoped in? Yes, he is. He will make absolutely no noise, not a peep from this guy as he pushes into the A site. Freshness, slowly but surely, has no idea. Biggin looking on the back of Dice. The CT's pushing up. Freshness got to turn around soon enough, and they have no idea.
No!
Biggin's got it! It's a full-on quadra, and Legates claim 10.
A 1 versus 3 at the most opportune moment. Legates, if there was ever a time to get back into the game, that was it. Tech-9s, 1 hero AK. G gets a collateral at the very start, but his SMG that was in tandem with him cannot save him whatsoever. 25 average. How have you fumbled the bag there? They're forced on an eco. They've got 1900 lost going into the next round. It's a double eco. Why have they not bought up?
25 average. Giving the perfect window back into this game for Legates. And you're right about that double eco status. Should have been a force buy here to try and hold on to some contention. They'll go USPs here, USPs next. Maybe a half buy, perhaps, I don't know. But either way, this should be 2 on the trot for Legates, and I think they're recognizing that here. Money state. Just not ideal for the CTs, and they'll stack the B side. Nothing's here towards A.
This goes all the way back to what I was saying at the very, very beginning. Momentum can flip on a sixpence, especially when you're on LAN, especially when you're someone like Sash's team who are very emotional. When you lose a round like that, when you know you shouldn't have lost, you gave them the picks, you jumped up on default unnecessarily, you're going to allow Legates to get 12, which means you've evened up the scoreline. This could be Legates climbing back on the T side, trying to do what K10 couldn't.
Bomb down. 5 on 4. 25 average, might as well just go for this here. Try to hand at some sort of retake because they're not losing much in this kind of a pistol round. If you manage to win it, then oh miracles. If not, then well, you're not losing much. And well, they are losing out on the other frags. So this round does not seem to go his direction. One player position. CWV dealt with by Prazy, and Sash 1 on 5 situation. Back up a dumpster, the same sort of angle. But ultimately not around for 25 average, 11 on the board for Legates. They stand within 1 of the CT side.
This is just not how I thought the game would go in any regard. Like, nothing's quite happened that I thought would happen.
It has been a wild one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I'm just intrigued, like, what do they do here? Like, surely you just save again, right? Because right now, if you save this round, you're giving G an AWP in the next. You're getting everyone on full money, because sometimes, which I find a little bit querisome and troublesome with a CT side, is when you've got 2K, and then you'll say, and then you've got 2400 in the next, you're only coming into the next round with around 4.4, 4.5K. That's not enough money to actually buy up. So I like what they've done here. They haven't really invested too much. I think there was a P250 on G, a 5.7 on Sash, a few nades here and there, and it's just going to be another round gifted towards Legates. 25 average. They're going to have everything in their arsenal for the next round, and Menace might even be able to pick off a few players at Deagle here. Firstly, Mickey Farzin, yeah, okay, that's 2 kills. It could be worse. The AK's been picked up. He's got armor. Could potentially do a little bit more damage, and yes, saving it would also be quite huge.
The problem now is that he's allowed the push forward from Big Un to now make his way on towards the short entrance. Menace, cool, looking the wrong way. Can't hold on to it, was bracketed in that position, tried to commit too far forward and ultimately will lose his life, so no rifle save, but you were right about the buyback here for 25 average. They have the guns, they have the M4s, they have the AWP. Be their main chance to stand against the Legates side.
It's actually the best buy they've had all half. If you remember, if you can cast your mind back, they've never had substantial economy. They've always been forced onto the MP9s, and now they're going to go triple towards the A-bomb side. G going for an aggressive pick. The problem is all the forces are on the other side of the map. They're going towards short, but that's fantastic spray early on from Sash AFP. Can Freshers hold on? They've got all 5 players hounding onto his position. Blind, spam, gets the first. Now Sash having to try and stay alive.
Put the smoke down, try and buy a bit of cover. Jump phase, did spot 1 player. The Molotov sent towards Graffiti in jungle. Should force Sash back, got to wait for those short players to enter and go for the retake in this 4-on-4. They're so low HP, Finu especially, AWP, looking the wrong way, switched out at the wrong moment, and that should send the CT side whole hog into the B retake.
That should have been his kill, and now Legates, they have a player in heaven. K is going to have to be the mastermind all of this, but no, it's bigger than Brazy. They double up, the advantage firmly in Legates' favor. This is 13, that's the lead, 25 average. Have they really just bottled it?
May well have done at this stage. Legates, after a long battle, a long fight back from the brink, from the 7-1 deficit that 25 average had at the start of the game, it's now turned 13-12 to the favor of Legates. A pause taken, probably by average, because they need to be a lot more than average right now to battle back from this. Legates are in full control.
It's not impossible. However, it's tantalizingly difficult right now. Legates, they've got the momentum, they've got the economy. 25 average, they're going to be on a few upgraded pistols. We've already seen a cringer. Let's do it again.
Half invest.
It's the most dangerous buy.
Let's hope Legates' complacency won't get the better of them here. 25 average, quick into their default positions on the stack towards the B site. Walk forward, Legates. Will have their eyes set on with the AK of Big Un especially. Just watching and waiting. His nade sent back towards Thompson. No one's going to be there to receive, unfortunately.
He's done that nade every round. He hasn't really got anything from it yet.
Yeah,
they're
not really giving it to him. I mean, if they see that nade being thrown every time, and then don't hold toxic early. Wait for that nade to come through, and then just sit back and relax and retake the position if you want to later, but just don't hold it in the start of the round.
Because what you're supposed to do when with that nade, you're supposed to change it up every single round and just start like making them uncomfortable to go anywhere pretty much. And also, so Legates have really conditioned 25 average over towards that B bomb site. I think especially in like the last 5 rounds, 4 or more of them have been finished over towards B in a force. There's been no face, it's just been a straight execute. And here, they're looking to change their sights over towards the A bomb site. K has already just collected all the space. The bomb's going to go down, and this should be a pretty easy one. You might lose a player or 2. Stash might get a kill here, but realistically, this should be a pretty clean 14th and a road to victory.
Most magical comeback from the Legates, most certainly. Menace does get big in on the exit for Russians. Yeah, again, at this point, best for him to save. His teammates can try to go for the retake on the A site and try and pick up more rifles. If they find the retake itself, then, well, congratulations, boys. The firepower differential is so staunch that K should get mowed down. I say that Freshness does get the kill. Clearly there with the AWP and Crazy coming in from the long control. So only the 1 AK saved in. Good effort there from 25 average, but ultimately this round is not all that important. The next one, the buy round, the chance to try and put the fight back against Legates and reclaim the lead, that is where the true importance is for 25 average. You can see the money on the right-hand side of your screen is great. It will lead to a buy. The AK is a bonus, but it's 14-12 for Legates. 2 to go to win.
We were talking about money. Legates, damage there wasn't even an issue. They had 3 players going into round number 27 with 5 digits. But Jay, you've set it up perfectly. An AWP on both sides, full rifles to accompany it, 25 average. This has to be it, or it's going to be GG for them.
Flash is sent, Big Un Not quite seeing the CT player on the jump face. Menace got the tags up, but return damage was done by the C side. A fantastic HE, you're right about that, but doesn't actually land. It looked like it was center of mass, but both Raymond and Big actually get away with a lot less. Incendiary will force them to dismantle the boost, so at least 75 average are accounted for that here on the Legates side. And now Raymond forced forward into the hands of CT. Menace still wins that fight though. That's important.
That's why you've got Menace. He does the impossible, and he makes it possible. 5 versus 4. The City side have the advantage. They don't have much utility though. That's something you've got to take an issue with. Mickey Foz has got everything in his belt, and he gets the first. Can he fade away? I'm not too sure. He has the utility, but he goes for the gun battle. Biggin drops every single piece of utility in that one kill. Still though, the advantage in their favor. K has crept up on the A-bomb site. G is not aware of this. 3 versus 3. 2 kits on the board. Sash is the only one without one, and it's going to be all 3 players retaking from CT. But look at K. Look how aggressive he is. He's going to be the mastermind once again.
Perfect shot, burst through. Second man does not go down. Freshness holding the trades again for 25 average, but it's so low HP. Finu, easy pick. Freshness now all alone. He's made absolutely no noise, but he's creeping closer. Checking the backside. Caught off by Biggin. And the Gates hold their nerve for match point over 25 average.
Sash AFP has been silenced. Never thought I'd say those words. Never thought it would be possible. However, I mean, singing ringing out from them.
He's not silenced yet.
It's not silenced yet.
Look, they've got a buy. It's a weak buy, but it is an open M4 and 3 SMGs, and we've seen them do much more with much worse, I think, on the 25 average side.
The only issue that you got G with 12 to 22. The Yorpa has to be doing much more. That smoke, they haven't done it before. So Finner's just gone, oh, okay, you haven't conditioned me to not expect something from that peak. And G just walks straight into his crosshair. Sadly enough, that could be the start of the end. Legates, late on in this game, have unsheathed their dagger from the cloak and stabbed the underdogs in the back.
It's certainly a big frag to lose for 25 average because it's one of the 2 rifles out of play.
And utility as well, he had a full belt.
All that gone. One incendiary just got used there by Freshness, so a smoke and another incendiary for Mickey Foz and Menace. And the firepower only on Mickey. Both players held out towards the A site. You have got Menace on the rotation back towards B, considering it at least. Mickey Foz. A lot of work to do here in the mid position. He's going for the peaks as well. We're trying to try and win a fight, but the Gates have got him marked.
If he just hard clears the angle, for instance, like he's going to get the kill. But in the meantime, the rotations have gone towards the B bombs. I'm trying to see where Menace is going. I think Menace might actually be coming back up towards A. And it's just leaving 2 SMGs to guard alone against the majority of the forces, but no, that's huge. Mickey Foz clears out the information. Menace going back towards B, throws the Molotov towards short, maybe a little bit too early. Freshness cannot connect one. 3 versus 3. Sash hiding in a smoke on that bomb site. This could be his, Jay.
It's all Menace on the other side as well. The crossfire, he baits in, gets a kill against Biggin. It doubles up, in fact, with low HP, going in for the triple. Sash. And now Sash can strike, but he's holding 12 seconds. He doesn't see the AWP. He doesn't see him either. Bombs dropped. He's a 1 versus 1. He dives out the way. Raymond's looking for the kill back, but Sash keeps him alive. 2K back at Ratwater, and it's 13 for 25 average.
The captain comes in when needed. What a 1v1 to secure. The MP9 dancing around, prancing, and 25 average on a lifeline shall be on to 13. So close though. That round, they had a man disadvantage. They came back from a man disadvantage. They had 3 SMGs, no utility, and 1 A1S. Super impressive. And I said they'd silence Sash, but not quite yet. The captain has something to say about this.
Menace has got the opening kill on the boost out towards connected, though. Biggin's dropped. Raymond's hoping that he can crossfire with a teammate. Sash has caught K next, so it's a 5-on-3. 25 average has sprung into life right here against the Gates. And they are suffering for it. 100 HP on every player of the CT side. Raymond watching out with the AK in a short. Holding passive and waiting for someone to make a move, for someone to make an over-aggressive mistake and try to punish that, try springboard back at advantage for Legates. They're going to start pushing low into the hands of Menace. Quick headshot back. Second player, third man not seen. Freshness holds the trades.
Is that enough? Because look at what it's done to the A defensive. It's actually pushed them back quite a lot into the crosshairs of the orb, but he doesn't even shoot. He lets him by. Smoke towards bank. Mickey Foz, they know of his position, but they don't know of the second. G might just bait his teammate out here. Look at Fresh as well, coming through from connector will be a late flank. They don't anticipate the A1S, but Crazy lines him up. 2 kills, 10 HP, Freshness coming through. It's not planted for him, and he might just get this.
One-on-one situation. He has no idea where Praise has gone either. Didn't hear the footsteps, hasn't been given any away. M4 with Kit, no util, but back might be turned towards long. One headshot's all you need, Prazy, but he's not leaned out on the defuse, sticking the whole hog. It's a perfect spray for the 3K, for the clutch for Prazy, bringing it home for Legates. 16 to 13 over 25 average. Freddie, what a comeback that was.
What a comeback, what a game, clutch after clutch after clutch, and Prazy, not normally someone renowned for his clutching abilities, lines them up. I was saying at the start of that round, 20, I think it was 11 and 22 or something like his scoreline was, and he misses a sitter there, which actually is the main, that's literally the reason why they lost the game there. Prazy with a lovely spray hold, and he gets the third. Freshers does not think of checking long. And that's Legates. What a wonderful comeback.
Yeah, you have to give him credit for that one. That was an absolutely wonderfully played game. And they were the favourites to their credit, so obviously it's kind of to be expected that they win the series, win the matchup itself. But at 7-1, we were really sort of questioning it. Their 25 average put in the hard yards, but it just wasn't quite hard enough and not quite good enough for their own right. They'll take their first loss in the group stage. And we're moving swiftly on to our third game of the day. So don't go anywhere after this quick break. We're back with more action here from EPIC38.